Bill, I think as I've been kind of surveying eschatology here in 2015, the thing that has stood out the most to me is the most prominent, the most prominent indicator of the lateness of the hour. It seems to be the rapid fulfillment of Zechariah 12, and that is the total abandonment by the world of the nation of Israel. And I know you spend half your time in Israel, so you get an even better perspective of that than I do. But I want to play a real short soundbite. Actually, it's just about 3 minutes of Pastor J.D. Farag, and he is talking about Israel losing basically her last supporter of a major nation. Now, obviously, she lost America the day Barack Obama was elected, but now she's lost Canada because of the Prime Minister Harper being defeated. I want to play this short soundbite, and then I want to get your perspective on it.
This CNS News headline, I think, captures the sentiment best. With Harper's defeat in Canada, Israel loses a friend, UN loses a critic. Now, I'm going to show you a picture here on the screen, and I'm going to explain what you're looking at here. The significance of Harper's defeat isn't just that he was pro-Israel, it's that the new prime minister who defeated him, Justin Trudeau, pictured here, as it turns out, is pro-Islam. He's not just anti-Israel, he is pro-Islam. Now, for the guys in the back, if you put for the YouTube video this slide, I do have the URL on there, but you can go to therebel.media, therebel.media, and you'll find this there. It's a video, a viral video, which shows the newly elected prime minister in an Islamic mosque reciting the Muslim convert's prayer, Maghrib Salah, or Shahada in Arabic. In Arabic, prayer is Salah, to pray is Salli. He is praying the Muslim convert's prayer. This would be akin to similar to what we as Christians call the sinner's prayer. This is Islam's convert's prayer. Except with Islam, there must be two Muslim men present when the Islamic convert's prayer is recited. Do you see the sway here? Canada, arguably the last major and significant nation on earth that still supported Israel. There might be other smaller countries, as Pat was telling me last week from an email from an online missionary that she's conversing with, and said that it's in Africa, right? Somewhere in Africa. Remember the name of the place? Zambia. Apparently still very much in support of Israel. But Canada was the last major country that had supported Israel. And look at the sway to go from a pro-Israel prime minister overnight to an Islamic prime minister. I'm going to show you another picture. It's a World Unite Against Islam photo that was posted on Facebook showing Trudeau in a local Islamic mosque wearing the national dress of Pakistan and celebrating his victory in the recent elections.
Pastor Farag is pastor of Calvary Chapel in Hawaii, gives a weekly prophecy update online. You can find that by going to YouTube. Bill Koenig, your response to what you just heard?
Wow. You know, what a change. I mean, Stephen Harper was a total statesman. In May of 2011, when Barack Obama officially gave his position to the AIPAC meeting, which is the largest Jewish lobby organization in the country, who spends a tremendous amount of time and effort on Capitol Hill. When Obama went to them and said that Israel must move back to the 6-day borders, and then his plan was to immediately leave Washington and go to the G8 meeting in France and get the rest of the countries to sign a resolution that would say the exact same thing. But Stephen Harper says, no, I won't do it. I won't accept this. It needs to be in negotiations. for the G8 to say that Israel must fulfill the resolution back to the 1967 borders is too much to ask. There's security considerations, and Harper stood up against the other 7 world leaders, and they never passed the resolution. To have this kind of new prime minister in Canada is alarming, and I didn't even know it was that deep. This is even new information to me, and it does not bode well. And also, Canada has approximately 1 million Muslims in their country, and they've had some problems. You don't hear about them a lot, but they have a pretty radical bunch there. It's not a lot, but just enough to really create some problems. And if they have a Canadian prime minister that's pro-Islamic, it's going to get worse.
Well, I think in my lifetime, Bill, the greatest change in the church and the world has been the declining support for the nation of Israel. Again, all prophesied. Zechariah 12, other places talks about it. So this shouldn't come as a surprise. But I think, Bill, and I got some feedback from my attendees at my fall conference, the thing that throws us a little bit is how fast things are falling into place, not on a weekly, monthly basis, on an hourly, daily basis.
Jen, it's breathtaking. I remember speaking at your conference and others 12, 13, 14 years ago, and stating at that time, or I would speak on the 2 or 3 things that were playing at that time that were biblically relevant. And really up until 3 or 4 years ago, you might have 2 or 3 or 4 final day events out of 12 that are in play. Today, all final day players are taking their position actively and aggressively, and all final day markers are in play. Russia, watching Russia and what they're doing, watching Iran, watching Turkey, Erdogan, the prime minister there, who's taken that country into the full-scale Islamic direction, wanting to be a major leader in the Middle East, watching the fact that the P5+1, these are some of the largest countries in the world, cutting any deal with Iran, the number 1 state sponsor of terror in the world, and are going to give them release $150 billion to them? It's crazy. And then watching one world political order, one world religious order with the Pope that we now have in place at the Vatican, and his desire to have a closer relationship with the Muslims, and some of the things that he has stated over the last few years. And then the political order through Obama, the G7, G8, or G7 that without Russia, but G8 with Russia, but Russia's been taken out of that. Watching all of that, watching the economic environment, watching the rapid movement toward the mark of the beast for the sake of security and convenience, and on and on and on, Jan. It's just breathtaking to watch these things play out as fast as they are, and all final day markers are in play.